I'm sure this video needs no introduction. Judging by the title, you guys already know. But we got a new boat. This is my dream boat, as a matter of fact. I've wanted this exact same boat, this exact same model, the same everything for about 4 years now. I've had other boats. I've had boats similar to this, trackers, even smaller Nitro, stuff like that. But this exact boat right here, this Nitro NX 750 dual console, has been my dream boat for a very, very long time. Let's get in it and I'll show you guys around and we'll talk about it just a little bit. Real quick, let's look at some of the stuff on the outside before we get into it. And yeah, it's just your regular boat. It's a 17.5-foot bass boat. It's got a 45-pound thrust trolling motor. I believe we need to get that replaced. It's a little bit small. In fact, it's quite a bit small for the water that I fish. It has the dual consoles, as you can see. This thing isn't perfect. If you can tell, the driver's side console has the glass on it, the windshield. The passenger side does not, probably from having a jig thrown at it before. That's something that I have yet to mention. This thing isn't perfect. It's water ready, it's ready to go, it's ready to do whatever I want it to, but it still has a few things that need to be fixed up on it. The carpet, number one, you guys will see that in a minute, and it could get some new seats on the back. I don't really use a seat, but you know, my co-angler or whatever, they might want a seat. Single axle trailer. I wish it was a double axle, but this is kind of a smaller boat, and it just kind of defeats the purpose. On the back, we have a 90 horsepower Mercury Optimax, I believe. This thing is really nice. It's the first motor I've had that actually wants to run correctly. You guys have seen my other boats before. If you've been around very long, you know that me and boat motors generally just don't get along that well. I have problems with them all the time. I've never actually had one that wanted to run correctly right out of the gate like this one does, and I'm really proud of that. Something else I'm really proud of is this thing has power trim. Most of my other motors, in fact all of my other motors, have never had power trim, so I'm extremely happy about that. No more having to, you know, manually get back there, lift the motor, drop the motor, all that fun heavy stuff that none of us like to do. That's about it on the outside. Let's get inside this thing and take a gander. So I guess we're gonna start off with the front deck, and as you can see, this front deck is actually pretty large compared to anything else I've ever had. It's pretty dang big. It's not huge, it's not like the new Nitros that are out there today, but it's got plenty of room for me. This side, you have storage. This is where I keep my drinks, paddle, fire extinguisher, life jacket, mystery tackle boxes apparently, stuff like that. The adjacent side, you have your rod storage. This is where all the KastKing rods get stored at. This is where everything is and ready to go fishing. It's all there, it's ready to go. Underneath me, we have my favorite part of the boat, and that would be the tackle cave. I've got all my tackle in here right now, or at least a good bit of it. Everything that isn't in the actual tackle cave in my house is right up here. Up front, we have the trolling motor, the trim switch, the lights, that kind of stuff. As you can see, the trolling motor foot pedal is actually recessed, which is awesome. I didn't know it had all that. I really like that. I wanted to do that to this boat. I didn't know that it already had it, so that's a plus. Now we're gonna get to where I've done most of my work so far. I've had this thing for about 4 days now, and all those 4 days I've spent pretty much just graphing and looking stuff over, you know, trying to find stuff on the lake. So this is where I've spent the majority of my time. It's just your normal console. You got your power switch, your master power, your bilge pumps right here, your recirculator, live well, your lights, all that fun stuff. That's all right in here. Throttle, kill switch. No hot foot. I'd like to put a hot foot on this thing. It makes it a little bit safer in my mind. The first wave that I kind of accidentally speared a little bit, I went like this as if I was braking, and there's no brakes on a bass boat, but I also removed my foot as if there is an accelerator there, because in my mind, even though I've driven boats for quite a while, I still for some reason associate a boat with an accelerator, which it doesn't have. There's a fancy cup holder down here, not sure if you guys can see that, and then right over here, whoop, yeah, right there, we have the mount for my Raymarine Dragonfly 5. It's a small unit. I believe it's a GPS unit. I don't have the Navionics card for it. I really want to put like a Lowrance Carbon unit there, or one of the Elite TIs. Those things look pretty sick, but for right now, we're going to be rolling with just this Raymarine. We also have a Fluke right here that came off of a Texas rig. That's completely unrelated. Passenger console, as with most consoles, has storage for, you know, whatever you need. Stick your phone in there, stick whatever in there. You have some storage under each seat, which I don't think you guys can really see at that angle, but I promise that there's storage there, which is nice. Here's a lighter for cutting line. I don't smoke, even though a lot of you guys think that I do for some reason. I think it has to do with my voice, I guess. But I don't have scissors in the boat just yet, so I use a lighter. Back here, as with, you know, most boats, you got your live wells. They actually have a separation thing in here, which is cool. These need a little bit of cleaning out. I haven't got to go through this boat and clean it out a lot just yet, but you know, it's nice to know if those are there. They do work. Something else I've never had the pleasure of having in a bass boat. These clips also need to get changed. I don't like these. I don't know why these are here. These aren't your normal. That's just not the way that is. Got just a little bit more storage back here on each side, each passenger side and the driver's side. There's a little storage box like that. It's pretty deep. I don't exactly know what I'm gonna put in there just yet, but this thing is filled with storage. There's so much storage. And that's part of the reason why I'm such a fan of this boat. I carry so much tackle. I like having all of my stuff with me at any given time. That's something I haven't exactly been able to do in my truck. Sure, it's got the room. It's filled to the brim with stuff. You guys have seen it before. But now I can stick the majority of the tackle that I think I'm ever gonna need right in here. I can switch it out by trip, you know, all that fun stuff that most people with boats do. So I hope that this kind of answers some of the questions as to where I've been and why I've only been uploading videos once a week. I've been working my tail off whenever I can to make a little extra money to actually buy this thing. This thing has literally been a dream of mine for 4 years, and over the past few months I really buckled down and started saving a lot more than I ever have, and I made it happen. I wanted it to be here by the time spring rolled around. I didn't know that I'd actually get it before the end of the year. Today's the first day of 2019, so I just barely by the skin of my teeth got this thing here, and I am very, very proud of it. And I know a lot of you guys have been, you know, asking whether or not there are going to be more videos coming, whether they will or not, and I'm hoping that they will. Now that my work schedule's kind of, you know, leveled off, things are a little bit easier. I have time in the afternoon to fish. Maybe not always time to go get this thing. This is going to be kind of an afternoon or weekend type of deal, not so much an afternoon kind of deal, because it's just kind of hard for me to take this thing to work. But we're going to try to get more videos out. That is the plan. Spring is approaching. We just crossed over into January, which is like the coldest month of the year here in Tennessee, and then after that it's like bam bam, we're gonna go straight into spring, and then it's gonna be summer before we know it, which is absolutely crazy. We're really gonna get in this thing during the summertime, look at some offshore spots, do some Kentucky Lake stuff. I know a lot of you guys want to see Kentucky Lake stuff. I want to figure Kentucky Lake out. It's not easy right now with all these Asian carp. I've already had quite a run-in with them, but we'll get through this together. May go visit, you know, some other lakes if we can. I got to update my truck. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. I drive that little Explorer. It doesn't like to pull this thing. It's time to get a truck. So might have to hustle a few more weeks, make these videos a little more sporadic for a little while until we can get that covered, and then it's time to hit the water, get some filming done, and entertain you guys, hopefully maybe teach you one or two things. But anyway, this is it. This is my Christmas gift to myself. I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do. A whole lot of videos are going to be done on this thing. You guys said you wanted to see boat videos. I made it happen. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you right here next time.